Hello everyone, I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. This is a very late update. I just got home not too long ago, but I'm still wanting to give you guys some market analysis using our very lovely indicators, of course. But let's start off by looking at what the chart's doing at the moment as we just opened a new weekly candle. And unfortunately, Bitcoin closed the week pretty low, down at 26,800, which is not the greatest. And right now, you're seeing Bitcoin retesting its previous support right around 27,200 as resistance now, trying to get above it at the moment. Although I think we may have a little bit of a higher pop here before we find another leg down to potentially 25,200. At which point, I still think, the chances are, getting smaller and smaller, but it's still possible that we, make a lower low and then potentially get a very, very big rally to around $30 to $35,000, per Bitcoin. And then after that, we may consolidate for a short amount of time and then start to come back down along with the traditional markets. I still think the traditional markets, right now it looks like it's forming a bit of a diamond pattern, but it doesn't mean that the traditional market can get a nice little pop towards the upside before we start to move towards the downside, because I ultimately believe with the recession on the edge, I'm not even looking at economic factors, just looking at the chart, it looks pretty bearish to me. Now moving on, let's take a look at what Bitcoin is doing on Market Cipher. Let's head over to the daily time frame as we just opened a new daily candle here, and just hover over there, and we just printed a new green dot on the daily time frame. So we might have found a potential low here as we actually dropped down to 25,700 on Friday. Or was this Thursday? I believe, is this Thursday? Oh no, this was Friday. Yeah, on Friday, and then now we are like Monday night, or Monday, early in the morning. So we'll see if we, get some more upside this week. But if we do get a pump up, I expect us to run into some pretty, heavy resistance. It's very possible that we could make a lower low before, we find our true bottom and then keep this rally going. Right now, just using the yellow wave indicator, we can see that we've had our wave 1, 2, 3, and now this is our wave 4 pullback. And I still expect one last wave up towards the upside before we find our high. And then ultimately, I think we can get a pretty nice correction in the Bitcoin price. Let's head over to Wave Edge and see what the daily time frame is showing us. Nothing there. Let's take a look at the 4-hour. We have a couple green crosses here, but right now we're in a pretty steep downtrend. So we'll see if we go any lower. Let me take a look at the weekly time frame. And again, on the weekly time frame, we did print this red cross a couple weeks ago, and it looks like it's playing out quite nice. Similar to this one as well, but this one, we had a nice little drop, a 10% drop, and then we were followed up with a very big 21% pump towards the upside before coming down to that 200-day moving average. You don't have the 200-day moving average, but this was the 200-day moving average before ultimately rallying as high as 31,000. All right, let me move on here to the traditional markets, and let's take a look on Market Cipher what the traditional markets are doing, because the S&P 500 just printed a new weekly candle, and at the moment it's actually looking pretty bearish with a 16 and a -5. We have a red dot at the moment, no confirmation yet. So we are headed into option X week, so a lot of options are going to be expiring, and man, oh man, is there a wall of call options at 4,200. A lot of calls are at this level here, so this level has proven to be an immense amount of resistance as well. So it wouldn't surprise me if the institutions start to push down the market just to make those calls expire worthless. Or are we gonna push higher? But in my opinion, I think they're gonna push it lower to make a lot of these options expire worthless. And most, these are short-term options obviously, but trying to make the most amount of people lose their money, because that's how those big banks make a lot of their money, is with those call options and making people lose out on it. And that's just the way the game is played. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. We've printed a red dot as well. However, the Nasdaq has been rallying pretty consistently these last couple of weeks as well. You guys can see we've been seeing some continuous upside in the Nasdaq as the S&P 500 chops sideways, along with the Dow Jones and the Russell 2000. So the Nasdaq has probably been the strongest index out of all of them. However, we did closed a little bit down on Friday. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones as well. So the Dow Jones, again, we still got that weekly red money flow, and we just printed another red dot here. We got bearish DBSI numbers on the weekly time frame. And let's take a look at the Russell 2000. And the Russell 2000 is probably the worst one out of them all. The chart pattern is awful. It's in a steep downtrend, and right now it's just consolidating, potentially before its next leg down. You have increasing red money flow, and the momentum waves have no sign of any bottom yet. And again, the reason for that is probably a lot of the regional banks are in the Russell 2000, like the KRE, right, the regional bank ETF, and that chart looks absolutely awful as well. But overall, we'll see if the market's going to get a bit of a dip this week. Ultimately, I don't think that this is going to be the big short for the market just yet. It's going to take some time, but we'll be going to be patient, and when it's going to be time to play it, then I'll let you guys know inside the Discord with my trade alerts on the traditional markets as well. Let's take a look at the daily time frame for the S&P. So again, I mean, the S&P's been chopping sideways really for the last couple of weeks. It's just been in this really tight range, and you can even say that it's forming a bit of a diamond pattern right now, potentially getting ready for a break out of this pattern. But we'll have to see in the coming weeks how this one's going to play out. I know a lot of people usually play these patterns out, in their heads, and it may look bullish, it may look bearish, but ultimately a diamond pattern is a reversal pattern. I think it's going to come back down. But if you do come down, you're going to find support at 3,900. It's not like we're just going to fall through the floor unless there's a big news, big catalyst news, and the markets decide to sell off. But until then, we're going to be patient and we'll play. Let's see if we have anything on wave edge here. I don't think we have anything on wave edge at the moment. We did get a red cross the other day. Let's take a look at the daily. Nothing on the daily as well. So again, no signs of a market top yet. We'll see in the coming weeks, the coming days, how everything plays out. We do have some economic news coming out after all. Let's take a look at natural gas. So natural gas and oil are open at the moment. So oil is down almost 1% right now, basically $0.50. Again, I expect oil to potentially get a bounce here around $68. It could come as high as 77, or maybe not even as high as that. Maybe it might start to run into some resistance right around these previous lows right here. But overall, this is going to be your first target. Then your second target is going to be at 77. But I think we have a pretty good shot at getting back up to 77 before starting to roll over and making our way down to $50 a barrel. And I know a lot of people don't think that we're going to go that low, but trust me, when we were shorting natural gas, no one thought that was going to go to $2. I mean, everyone and their mother loved natural gas when it was at its all-time or near its all-time high. Right around here, I believe. Let me just pull up my chart here. There we go. When we were at $9.95, everyone loved nat gas. It's going to $15. It's going to $20. The sky is the limit, right? They're going to turn off the tap in the Russians. The Russians are going to turn off the tap, and the nat gas is just going to skyrocket. And look what nat gas has been doing since then. Absolutely getting crushed. And now that it's at its lows around $2.38 right now, nobody wants anything to do with it. And it's absolutely hilarious how the market works, because right now we are in a trade on that gas, and this is going to be the one, in my opinion, that's going to make a lot of money. This is the one that's going to pay off. I know everyone's coming out with all the bearish news at the lows, and it's just so funny how the market works sometimes. The bad news comes out at the lows, and the good news comes out at the tops. Now moving on, let's take a look at nat gas. We'll run it through our indicators as well. We're running it through wave edge. Again, you've been seeing a significant a significant amount of buying going on at the lows. You can see on multiple charts here, on the daily time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, you've been seeing a significant amount of accumulation. And not only that, on the weekly time frame as well, you've seen a significant amount of buying coming out at the lows as well. So this gives me confidence that the lows are potentially in for nat gas, and we may even see a short covering rally. And again, I'm seeing only bad news about nat gas. Only a few people are long nat gas at the moment. It is a risky trade, however, because right now we are in a steep downtrend. Yeah, excuse me, I keep coughing, but if we do end up finding the lows right here, the rally to the upside is going to be monstrous, because all big rallies start with a short covering rally. And looking at the monthly time frame, we did confirm with a green cross, sorry, not a red cross, a green cross a couple months back, I believe, or was it last month on the nat gas futures, and it was a couple months ago on the spot chart right here on Pepperstone. But you know, it depends on which chart you're using, really. If you're using the currency.com chart, it was last month. Spot chart was a couple months ago. But what I base my trades off is the nat gas futures on the NYMEX. Okay, so basically, you know, I still think the lows are in for nat gas. I think you're going to get a very big short covering rally. And once this rally gets going, it's going to be hard to stop. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to lose a lot of money because a lot of people are still short at these levels. Shorting the lows is not the way to go. It is always risky shorting the lows. Anyways, moving on here, let's take a look at gold and silver. And gold right now, again, just chopping sideways, not too much to do here. I think gold is still getting ready for ultimately a bigger pullback, a potential leg down. Again, gold went up on fear, and at the moment, you know, the fear is starting to dissipate. However, you know, the banks are still in trouble, so we'll see if gold does get this pullback, because you know the fear is really out there in the markets at the moment, and you know a lot of people are in gold because of that fear. Let's take a look. Oh, sorry, that was a 2-day chart. Let me get back on the 1-day. Let's take a look at the silver chart right here, and again, beautiful move down here, like I called it a couple days ago, a potential double top, and it did play out, and we bagged those wins inside the Discord as silver pulled back down 8%, and it is starting to find support right around these levels, and we are in a bit of a trade play, trying to play a bit of a bounce. If it does start to come back up, $24.70 is going to be your resistance, and if you end up going lower, then you're probably going to be finding some support right around $22.28. So again, we'll see how this one plays out, but overall, I think, you know, silver is still a great buy as well as gold, but ultimately I think gold is a little bit higher right now, and so is silver. So you want to be buying on the pullbacks. Again, remember, none of this is financial advice, all for entertainment purposes. And let me just finish it off by taking a look at nat gas on Market Cypher on the weekly time frame, because it is looking quite good at the moment with a 13 and a -1. However, we do have a good amount of red money flow, so please be careful getting into some trades on nat gas. I myself am in trade, but you know, we'll see if I get this one right. I think I got this one in the bag. It's looking good, but we'll have to follow up with it. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. Love you all. Thank you so much for being in my on my YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing. We're at 21,000 subscribers. Once we get to 25K, we're gonna do that giveaway. And we just finished a giveaway inside the Discord. One of our members just won 50 USDT, so congratulations to you, my friend. You deserved all of those gains, and we'll keep you up to date on the markets tomorrow. Love you all. Peace.